Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Forgot to Grow podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Today I'm talking about Season 4, Episode 15, Self-Control. I'm just going to be starting off the plot summary and just talking about my general thoughts about this episode and any Easter eggs or foreshadowing I might have noticed. So yeah, let's just start with that plot summary, which says the new LMDs are aware of their nature and they plan to carry out Ivanov's goal of destroying all Inhumans. Simmons discovers that Mace, Mac, and Fitz are the other new LMDs and overpowers Fitz. Daisy also discovers them and plans with Simmons to hack into the framework remotely to find the others from the inside. Ada kills Radcliffe's body but lets his consciousness live on in the framework. Daisy overpowers the Mace, Mac, and Coulson LMDs, but they find the May LMD waiting for them at the base, tasked with detonating an explosion to prevent their escape. The May LMD instead lets them leave and destroys the base with the LMDs inside. In the frameworks, the agents find an altered reality where Daisy is in a relationship with an alive Grant Ward, Coulson is teaching about Inhumans, Hope is alive with Mac, Fitz is rich, Simmons is dead, and May works for Hydra, which has replaced S.H.I.E.L.D. Ada is able to sever Ivanov's living head from his crippled body and builds android bodies for his mind to control. So I really love this episode. This is the last episode of the LMD storyline. The next storyline we're getting into in this season is the Agents of Hydra storyline where they're in the framework itself. But yeah, this was the last one of the LMD episodes, and I really enjoyed this one because it first starts off as a little bit of a mystery with Fitz and Simmons trying to figure out a way to, get their team back. But then it turns out Fitz is an LMD, and that scene with Fitz and Simmons and them trying to be like, who's the LMD, who's not, that is some heartbreaking or heart-wrenching shit. That whole scene just, it's so emotional. I feel so bad for Gemma having to kill the LMD version of the man she loves. That's just cool, especially while she's stabbing it. It's like, stop, Gemma, no, and then tries to strangle and keeps going back and forth, and it's like, it just, really tugs at your heartstrings, that scene. But I think that really puts kind of into perspective this whole episode, which is a very intense episode. We get at another point Daisy having to fight off an LMD Mac and then having to fight pretty much all her teammates as these LMD versions who are a little bit stronger. And so it's an emotional roller coaster for them all in this episode, having to fight their best friends who aren't really their best friends. It's just, I just really enjoyed that. Some of the things I enjoyed about this episode is Ada putting Radcliffe into the framework. The fact that Ada turns on Radcliffe, I think from pretty early on, some of us kind of expect that in this season. But upon the rewatch, it's just kind of fun to see, like, especially since you put it together a little bit more in the rewatch. You're just a little bit more like, oh yeah, Ada does seem a little different after she reads the Darkhold, and then she comes with this, I have a paradox, and you're like, oh snap, paradox, Radcliffe, that means you're dead. You killed him. You made a robot that decided to kill you. You told the robot one thing. You gave it one priority over everything else, which is to protect yourself. But you also gave it another rule which contradicted it, and then you told the thing that if living is only in the mind, and we built this place to put your mind, so yeah, the body doesn't matter, and then bam, you get yourself killed, Radcliffe. It's just a great scene, just kind of the irony of, the Frankenstein monster in a sense, the thing you make coming back or being your demise in the end. So that was just an interesting part we got. What else do we have? The Daisy fighting the different LMDs was awesome, especially when she's kind of just gets shot by the Mac and the Coulson LMDs, and she just charges up that Quake. It's a little bit Dragon Ball Z, but I'm still cool with it because then she blasts them apart, and it's just awesome. The effect was really cool too, to see them just kind of disintegrating as LMDs. Just such a great effect. It was a really cool scene. I really enjoyed it. And then we get the end, Gemma and Daisy going into the framework, getting a brief glimpse into what this altered reality is that we're going to be exploring for the last third of this season, and I'm just really excited to get into those Agents of Hydra episodes because I've only seen them all once. This whole season I've only watched once, so I'm really excited to rewatch it again. But yes, those are all my thoughts for this episode. Be sure to let me know in the comments below what you liked and what you might not have liked about this episode. Thanks again for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good one.